So, hi everybody. My name is Sam, and I'm going to be talking about something that I'm very, very passionate about, which is education within augmented reality or AR. So, as many people know already, augmented reality is the overlaying of a digital content over a physical environment, usually using a device like a mobile device or a cell phone, a tablet, etc. I'd love to go into plenty of history of it, but just to keep it very brief, some three basic historic points. The first ever attempt to add data to experience was done in 1957. It was called the Sensorama, which you can see on the right here, by Morton Heilig. And what this would do is it would create visuals, sounds, vibrations, smells to enhance an experience. Obviously, it was not computerized at the time, but still it was the first attempt. In 1968, Ivan Sutherland created the head mount display to create a view into a virtual world, which is kind of similar to what the Google Glasses ended up being now, but as you can see, was a bit outdated back then. But the actual term augmented reality got coined by Thomas P. Cordell of Boeing in 1990, which is then when it referred to actual computer usage of the tool. So we have everyday examples that most of us are used to by now, where we have face filters that follow your face tracking, games like Pokemon Go, which got more people to go outside than most things. And then also it's often used in sport to tell you how good or bad your team is doing. But there are also other practical uses. So markets like IKEA and Target are doing a thing where they have an AR app so you can see what your product looks like within your house or space or whatever. And one of my favorite uses so far has been Google Translate's image augmented reality, where you provide an image with text, it will identify the text, translate it, and try and overlay the translated text onto the image for you, which is very useful for instructions that don't have an English version. So with AR in education, there are many uses for this. One of the more commonly known ones is for predefined images that are loaded into the app, and it will create a pop-up either for text or like in the Human Anatomy Atlas, where if you scan a certain body part, what it will do is will pop up a 3D model that you can then rotate around and actually get to see. There's also the Elements 4D usage, which what it does is uses paper blocks that are to represent different elements, and will show you a digital representation of the element, giving you the name of the element as well as the atomic mass. So it next comes into the question of what makes learning fun. A lot of studies will show that it's got to do with there being a challenge or it being interactive, which AR does allow us to do and get to interact with a lot. And now, hopefully, I can talk about an actual example that I was very fortunate to be a part of. So about a year and a half ago, I was given the absolute pleasure of working with these great team members, Megan, Ridge, Zeno, for a hackathon that was hosted by Facebook using their program Spark AR. Spark AR is a free-to-use program that you would log in with your Facebook account, and you then build a filter or whatever you want, and you can actually send that to your Facebook account and actually use it on your profile. We were entered into the competition, and we were given a list of options of what we could choose from for topics or themes. And we chose the theme of doing something educational. Now, at the time, the program wasn't really made for what we wanted. So we ended up causing quite a bit of confusion, asking constantly for help. But I can hopefully show you what we ended up doing. Our idea, share, there we go. Hopefully you can see me over there. Yes, cool. So our idea was to make a mathematics game because we wanted the challenge and having that fun of your own self being involved in it, having a score to compete with others that you could share. So how this works, Spark AR uses a node-based system, which they call patches, which you can connect, as well as using a script, which we'll use to then do the logic. So we set up a whole JavaScript file that would generate questions as well as answers, set a timer, and keep a score. So to actually demo the tool, Let me just close that so it's a little easier. Cool. Disclaimer, I'm not actually going to try and solve all of these because multitasking is going to be hard. So to start, the user would press start, and you can see that at the top there is a question, there's a timer, and then these two little guys over here with the ohmmeters and my score down below. So if I tilt my head to the right, it interacts, and then I got the mark. I got a new question, and so I tilt my head to that one, and my mark increased again. And that was wrong. So you see that the mark doesn't increase. And yeah, I'm being very slow. So then once your round is completed, it would show game over. It will give you the option to try again and also show on your score. Now, when this is sent through to your phone, Spark AR also has an app where you can send from this program to your phone to test it. You would also then be able to take a photo of this current frame, or any frame if you wanted to, but this current one is very useful because then you can share your score, share it with your friends, and see who can top one another. So that was how we did that. It was very challenging and interesting, but we managed to get it done, and obviously you can try again should you want to break it. But yes, and that, I think, is everything I have to share about that.